I scream help during sex. That's how good it is. Welcome back to the Metal and Miniatures podcast, where we take a jack of all trades, master of none approach to podcasting topics.
I'm Josh.
And I'm John. And tonight, I always say tonight.
It is tonight, though.
But that's because we always record at nighttime.
Yeah.
But I'd like to give the illusion that we record at many different times.
No, it sounds professional when we have it at one time.
Good point. So tonight, we thought that we would be a little festive, and we've decided to do the topic of Halloween.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're really excited to have a guest on tonight, but he didn't show up. But we are lucky enough to have a fill-in guest.
Yep. Okay.
It's we have Rachel in the studio. Rachel, welcome.
Thanks.
Mr. Manager.
Mr. Manager.
That's right. Rachel is the manager of the podcast.
It is a hard job.
Yeah.
You put in some long hours for this podcast.
She listens to every single podcast to make sure they're, nice and good.
How many hours have you spent this week on, producing, getting us ready for tonight?
I don't even know. I can't.
Countless.
Countless.
Yeah, I thought so.
You see her eyes are all bloodshot from the late night she spent.
Yeah.
Trying to get guests on and
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
And then I
happened?
have to fill in when they don't come.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Huh.
Curiouser and
Yeah,
curiouser.
it's interesting. Thought you'd have a different plan B, but
Rachel's always plan B.
yeah.
So listen up, everyone. If you want to be on the podcast, we would love to have guests on. If you want to be on the podcast, please let us know. We will try to make a date available for you to be here at the studio. Again, we like having people here. It's fun. It's more entertaining for some people because I guess some people get sick of Josh and I talking.
Some people.
I wouldn't know who those people are, though.
I don't know.
That seems ridiculous.
Regular listeners, I would assume.
All 6 of them.
As your manager, I have an idea of who they are, but I won't tell you. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Okay, let's get into the topic now that we've bullshitted long enough. Halloween. Josh,
Yeah.
on your top 10 annual holidays, where does Halloween lie? Like what number?
Well, I used to always say that it was one of my favorites because Halloween time is this scary time, so I'm all into horror movies and whatnot. But as of lately, I haven't celebrated a whole lot, since I haven't trick-or-treated since I was in 6th grade. But probably, maybe it's close after Christmas.
After Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It probably is better when you were getting free candy,
Well, yeah.
right?
Yeah. Free candy and dressing up regularly.
Yeah, it is harder to find a costume first of all, and then reasons to use a costume
Right.
when you're a grown up.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really do trick-or-treating. I guess you could do trick-or-treating, but people might think that's odd. But yeah, I mean, you gotta have some sort of excuse to dress up
Yeah,
other than,
I suppose.
I mean,
You don't just have a dress-up bucket in your room you go
well,
play with?
I do, but I usually don't bring it outside the bedroom. It's just usually myself.
You just stare at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mr. Manager, on your in your ranking system, whatever it is, where does Halloween?
Currently, probably maybe around 4.
Number 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be honest, did you think of 3 other holidays right then that were better than Halloween?
Yes.
Okay, what are they right
What
now?
are they
Go.
right
Fast.
All right. So I think Thanksgiving is awesome.
Okay.
Christmas is awesome. New Year's is awesome.
Okay, so the main ones that you just threw out right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She didn't have any.
I think she was going.
She
I
was just like
counting,
for it.
I was thinking. I was using my brain
Yeah.
while you were talking.
Yeah.
I think Halloween is a pretty sweet holiday. I think that Halloween could actually be more fun as an adult than it was as a child, but it's really hard because it's almost like you need to force like the celebration of Halloween. You need to plan a Halloween party. You need to get a costume. You need to invite your friends, things like that. And I don't know.
And I feel like you have to be more creative. You can't just go pick out and be like, I'm gonna be a GI
Yeah.
Joe. Like I don't know. I feel like you have to be more creative.
I was a GI Joe, and that was one of my things when I was a child.
But that's my point. Is as a kid you can pick any costume
Yep.
and you look awesome.
Yep.
As an adult, you have to think
Not
about
as
it more.
awesome. Yeah. I do have to agree because when you are planning on dressing up, usually if you say you're going to go to a party or something, it's usually like a week before that you finally decide you're in costume. It's usually crappy. But if you think about it like a month in advance, then it can be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a year in advance, you know?
Well,
If it's
then
like,
it'd be really, really good. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
What about your scale of how cool it is compared to the other holidays?
I don't know. I think if I celebrated it consistently as an adult, it would be higher on the list. But I don't know, maybe the lower half of top 10, easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the idea of Halloween. I think it's fun. I think it's kind of cool to to think of a fun costume, and I love parties.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just we don't really celebrate it on a regular basis, or haven't celebrated it on a regular basis as adults.
I guess for me, it's more of the time of Halloween because you got all like the horror movie marathons and just the scary type stuff.
Yeah, as far as the season goes, fall is the shit. Like I
Yeah.
love fall. So you got football season at the same time. I mean, it's great.
So no reasons really specific related to Halloween.
I mean, I think that if I was having parties all the time for Halloween, then it would be different.
Okay,
If I spent the time to plan those parties and stuff.
that's fair enough.
So let's talk about past Halloweens. When we were children. What was your most memorable costume? What was your most memorable you were for Halloween?
I would say so I don't know if it'd be memorable, but I was a wizard for like 3 years in a row. And I'll tell you why. Because my mom had a friend or something at work that made me a wizard costume,
Yeah.
and it was the coolest wizard costume on the face of the earth. It was like professional wizard work.
I want pictures.
I don't know if I have any pictures. I'm sure someone does somewhere.
You might have to find some.
Yeah, but it had. I mean, it was awesome. It had like the wizard hat and the wizard cape.
It was like a Merlin kind of wizard thing, or is it like a Harry Potter kind of wizard thing?
Well, this is long before Harry Potter.
I know.
So it was like, I guess, Merlin without the beard.
Okay, a young Merlin.
Yeah, like a young Merlin, probably when he was around. How old was I? 9. So yeah, that was pretty good.
Okay.
And anyway, that's it.
My most memorable Halloween costume that I wore. All of my Halloween costumes were really shitty. My most memorable Halloween costume was I splurged on some money to get a nice mask, and it was like a goblin troll kind of mask, and that was all the money that I had.
So all you had was
So
a
all
mask.
I had was a mask and then like a black bed sheet, and I was supposed to be like this cool like goblin-y troll, and it just was some dumb kid in a mask and a black cape.
Was that when they had them all like? You'd see the masks on the wall at the Halloween store, because there was regular masks and then there's ones that were on the wall that were...
No, it wasn't one of the really nice ones on the wall. It was just, it was like a $25, $30 mask or something in the packaging.
Yeah.
But that's
which is
all I
still
had.
good. Yeah.
That's all I had.
I mean, I always envisioned myself getting it, one of those really, really nice ones.
Like a Hellraiser one.
Exactly, like Hellraiser.
That's like
Hellraiser, or like a demon mask or something, but then they're way too expensive and I have a tiny head. So I was like, my eyes in my face wouldn't fit the eyes and the eye holes in the monster's face.
Okay. Rachel, what was your most memorable Halloween costume?
Your favorite Halloween costume
As a kid?
As a kid.
I didn't have one. I have some good ones as an adult.
You didn't have any that you liked? They were all shitty, or
I did not dress up for Halloween. It was not allowed.
Was that a choice? Oh, it wasn't allowed.
No.
I don't understand. What do you mean it wasn't allowed? Like Halloween wasn't like your parents or your family didn't celebrate Halloween?
Okay, no, we celebrated, and this is what we did. You ready? We turned out the lights, and we all as a family gathered in the family room and watched a movie and ate pizza and ignored any trick-or-treaters that came to our door.
It's like a bah humbug, but for Halloween.
Yep.
So
but the one time, like the few times that my dad accidentally answered the door, like for the early trick-or-treaters, they'd get like a banana.
At least it's healthy.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
So I have a question. Did you, as a kid, did you really want to do the Halloween thing, or...
Are you kidding me?
I mean,
what kid doesn't want candy?
Well, yeah, but like a lot of people who maybe haven't experienced something doesn't necessarily know what they were missing.
I knew what I was missing out on.
So you really wanted to do it.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't go trick-or-treating until 2 years ago when I went with my daughter. It wasn't nearly as fun for me as it was for her, I'm sure.
So did you have a lot of friends? I mean, I guess pretty much all of your friends did Halloween.
Yeah.
And was it like a touchy subject when they would bring up Halloween? They're like, ooh.
I think I was so used to being the odd one out that it was just another weird thing.
That's really it's odd.
And is it because people think it's evil?
It's the devil's birthday.
So okay, so
so the reason why your family didn't celebrate Halloween was because it wasn't a holiday. Like there weren't good reasons to celebrate the holiday.
Yeah,
I guess.
I'm torn between saying that it was an evil holiday and my dad didn't like candy, so I think it was a combination. I don't know that he would feel the same way about it today. He might be like, "No, it's fine, it's fun," but that's not the way I remember it when I was little.
I don't know, but I would imagine it. I would think it would be more to do with the evilness, because if he doesn't like candy, doesn't mean that you don't like candy.
Well,
but he doesn't want candy in his house, so that's his way of controlling.
You know
it.
what? So
I don't know.
That is interesting because I mean, Halloween has a pretty extensive history, and Halloween has been All Hallows Eve, for as long as Christianity has gone out of Rome. And it's basically just been a day for us to celebrate all the saints and martyrs of Christianity. So it's anything but evil. It's it's supposed to be a day where the good Christians or whatever, all of them were celebrated, and there's actually pagan roots to this holiday, either Roman pagan holidays or Celtic and Gaelic holidays, all of them kind of forming around this idea that this is when the spiritual barrier between Earth and the spirit world is really thin. And
is that why people would start to dress up, because like spirits type of deal?
Dressing up, as far as I know, was a Christian thing where you would dress up in robes or something like that, and you would go souling, which is you'd go and you'd parade in the streets, or you'd go door to door asking people to give you these soul cakes or these treats. And every time that you would eat a soul cake, that's one soul that would be saved from purgatory. And so
it kind of just turned into like a commercial type deal.
I mean, what
obviously,
holiday hasn't,
right.
But it's not. It's just weird how it's been turned. I mean, it obviously had a sense of the macabre, in early Christianity, but it's really turned into something more of, just like Rachel said, this idea that it's a satanic holiday. It's not, and I don't know when that happened.
I don't know when it happened either. I mean, it could be a lot of Hollywood too that's putting its effect on it.
Yeah,
it had to have happened before Hollywood.
Well, I know it probably did, as far as, but not really getting to like evil. I don't think even before it was that evil, until a lot of things.
It would be interesting to actually talk to my dad and have like an actual conversation about this now that I'm adult, and find out why he did it the way he did, because That's all I remember though, is growing up, is that was the feeling I got about Halloween, is that it was an evil devil's birthday kind of thing.
It doesn't surprise me though, because a lot of people do. I mean, people still, let their kids, but like, even like, so when I was younger, as far as costumes and stuff, my mom wouldn't let us be anything evil or like monster-like. So everything we had to be was nice, I guess, wizards, or, my brother wanted to be like a dead pirate, but she's like, okay, well, you can be a pirate, but you can't be a dead pirate. Yeah, so, and I think that, that's maybe part of the right reason why I like it so much now, as far as like the horror element of it, because she didn't really want us to be anything
That was
evil.
something that you were lacking in your childhood.
Yeah,
so
and we both wanted to. We wanted to be stuff that was like, evil or dead or whatever.
I think that a reason why people maybe don't do Halloween, now in the current day, current era, whatever.
Currently?
Yeah, currently. Thanks. God. So, is because people are a lot more scared of their kids going to strangers' houses and asking for candy, because you never know, first of all, what the strangers are going to do to your kids, and second of all, what kind of things they're going to be handing out.
That's true. I would say more just going to strangers' houses, because like, as far as like the razor blades and the candy or whatever.
That only happened to someone that gave it to them, their own kids.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I'm being serious.
See, that's what I didn't know. I knew, like, as far as the origins, like it didn't this is happening all over the place.
No.
There's no way that people are just putting razor blades in random people's candy.
You have to be such a sociopath.
Yeah, but
to do that.
did your parents check your candy?
No,
Mine did.
I was the youngest of 8.
Wow.
They're like, the
You
7
got
has
your
survived.
candy,
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, and and there's nothing strange about that, because I know a lot of people that would check their candy and stuff.
Right.
So
First of all, Rachel, I think on behalf of Josh and I, we would like to apologize that you never got to experience Halloween as a kid.
yeah, that's
Thank you. I
yeah.
appreciate it.
Was there any other costumes, your past costumes that you want to talk about? I know that 3 years of wizardry is.
So
I mean, even putting Harry Potter to shame, but
yeah, I was the OG Harry Potter, the original
right.
Harry Potter.
But beyond that,
well, there's only a few other years I did it, but I started off earlier as a clown, which actually is scarier than you'd think now, because a lot of people are scared of clowns. So I guess I had that going for me.
so take that, Mom.
Yeah.
Fooled you.
Yep. I was a G.I. Joe for a year, and then I think, my last year of trick-or-treating, and I knew it was going to be my last year because I was getting too old. Apparently, 7th grade is too old. I was an old man. I had the coolest old man mask.
Those are exciting.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't sound as exciting now that I'm saying it, but it
Yeah.
was a cool mask.
Okay, I can
And
believe that.
a suit.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was it. So, do you have anything that could top that?
I mean, I remember one of my earliest memories from Halloween. I was a Native American.
Oh yeah.
And now that I think about that, I guess that could be kind of
It's a little
insensitive,
yeah,
right?
because
I was only 4 or 5, but
people
Anyway.
aren't going around dressing up as.
anyway,
Let's just leave.
yeah. So that's my earliest memory of what
That's interesting choice.
I remember also being Zorro, because I really loved the old Zorro show. I watched that with my mom. So I was Zorro. I did a troll, a different troll where it turned more into a caveman, because I had my mom
So
make
you weren't wearing the skin-colored bodysuit of a troll.
Close enough. It's
Are you serious?
I'm totally serious.
You know what I'm talking about, the toy troll
No.
deals or whatever.
Oh,
No,
no.
I'm thinking like a I know this is a giant, but like a fee fi fo fum, kind of. I actually have a picture of it.
Do
Yeah,
you?
he
Maybe
has,
I'll.
it's like a hairy kind of caveman
Like a
cave
outfit.
troll.
It actually
goes
looks like a
over one
caveman.
shoulder, and then he's got big giant feet.
Like the
and-
troll, like a troll under a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it looks more like a caveman.
Yeah.
And I had my mom make the whole outfit, and then it was so funny. I thought it was cool when I was younger, but it was so funny that I wore it again in high school, just like to be funny, and that's the picture I have. so I'll probably actually post that up on our YouTube.
Yeah, that'll be good.
On our YouTube video. And I can't remember anything other than those ones. So
Yeah, I mean, because, well, there wasn't that long, for me anyways, that I trick-or-treated, so there wasn't that much that I dressed up as.
I think I trick-or-treated every single year.
But you don't remember what you were?
No.
Huh.
I do remember,
They weren't that good, I guess.
I do remember like rollerblading a couple of years, to house because I thought I could go faster and get more candy. But it was all the same amount of candy every single time.
How old were you when you had to stop? Did you ever have to stop?
No, I mean, my parents never told me that I had to stop, but you could tell that like the disdain like increased as I got older. So I must have stopped at high school or something like that.
Did a lot of people try to go the next day trick-or-treating? Do you know of that occurrence?
No.
Okay, because, well, this stemmed from my brother-in-law telling me that as a joke he dressed up, or I don't know, I think he dressed up and went to the next-door neighbor and just, trick-or-treated the next day. I don't know, like, what his game plan was, but then I thought that would be really funny just to dress up the next day and go and then trick-or-treat, and then they'd look at you, and then they'd be like, that was yesterday, and you'd be like, it was?
Is that why no one else is out right
Yeah,
now?
I thought it was weird that no one else was doing it, but I thought that maybe everybody just went in early.
That's funny. I do actually remember doing it a couple of days early as a kid.
Really?
But we didn't even dress up for it. Me and my buddies just walked around and trick-or-treated.
Did you get candy?
I think we might have gotten one piece. We were too embarrassed to actually do it more than 3 houses.
Yeah,
But
that would be embarrassing.
You guys would do that. Oh my gosh.
did you have the urban myth of a certain area in your neighborhood gave the king-size candy bars? You know what I'm talking about?
Like, go to this house.
Yes. Like,
I don't know if we did specifically. Yeah, I don't think I ever had specific. Did you have that occurrence?
Yeah. So I lived in a pretty well-to-do neighborhood. We've gone over this a little bit already in past podcasts, but there was a section of my town/city, whatever the hell it was called, that was an even like ritzier part. The houses were way bigger. They're way nicer. So just a nicer neighborhood. And we lived only about a mile away from that neighborhood, so that's perfectly plausible for kids to make their way into that neighborhood. And there's always the rumor, the urban legend that, oh yeah, since all those families are rich, they buy king-size candy bars and they hand those out. And I never actually made my way over to it because I wanted to be thorough, right? I had to at least hit all the streets in my neighborhood.
So you never tested the waters?
No, I never did.
Interesting.
But that makes no sense because they're spending all their money on their house, right? Why would they spend money on king-size candy bars?
For a bunch of strangers.
Even when I was young, that's what I was thinking. I was like, no, there's no way. They're going to spend all their money on other stuff. So
it's possible they could have.
Maybe
I
missed out.
Yeah, well, you should have tried. How about, did you have the house that was the best, like, as far as decorations and... No?
No, Halloween wasn't you didn't decorate your house for Halloween, and not my neighborhood at least.
Okay, well, this is like, what I'm about to tell you is like the biggest part of my Halloweens.
I'm ready.
So get ready. Are you ready, Mr. Manager?
I'm ready.
So, I think it's weird that you didn't have at least one house that was like crazy decorated.
I'm sure there were houses that were decorated, but that never, like, other than like a paper pumpkin or like jack-o'-lanterns or whatever.
Yeah, that's lame. So, my uncle, when I was a kid, would decorate his house, and he had this like the best house, like in West Jordan or wherever he was, at the time. And and I would go over and help him, and we had like, after years went by, we did it like every year. He had like 15 dummies that we'd built up and like electronics, and we took like a treadmill and made like a mobile zombie.
Wow.
And everything. And so most of my Halloweens, the reason I didn't have a lot where I went trick-or-treating, especially after 6th grade or whatever, is I'd dress up as monsters and be in the yard. Like one year he made like a wooden box, like coffin type deal, and I just was kind of standing up in it, and then I would move and stuff and scare people. So like and then the good part of that is not only did he have like the best haunted house in the neighborhood, he would hand out like cans of soda and stuff.
Yeah.
So-
There were always those houses that
Yeah,
hand out
that
soda.
would have soda and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But that's where I spent majority of mine, and he still does it actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's where mine were.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
I was always scared. You know,
yeah,
as
a
kid,
lot of people were like,
to do any
even what I
of
have
the
with now, you know, people, kids especially, you know,
those
'cause
babies.
they're scared, would like not even come up to the house a lot of the time, and that's when you know you had a successful year,
That's right.
or if you made one cry.
What about the best candy that you were always excited to have? You know, in your. I always used a pillowcase. Did you? Is that what you did?
As
too?
I got older, I realized, why am I using a little bucket when I can fit much more candy in a pillowcase?
Yeah, I think I only used like a little bucket only a year or two, and then I realized bigger case equals
yeah.
more.
And I only used it like for the first 5 years.
So, until you were done. Okay, so so what was like the candy that you got in your bag that you were just so you're like, yes, I love these.
Rachel, you start.
I was always really excited about pumpkin seeds.
I guess technically.
I'm not
I guess
even
it's hard to
kidding,
have.
though.
I guess it's hard to have a real favorite in your bag when you don't have a bag of candy.
Eat your pizza.
That's
Yeah.
how sad it was.
Yeah.
We did do pumpkins, and we would cook the pumpkins.
Apparently, they're pretty good.
They are good.
I don't know.
But
What? Wait, what about what kind of pizza would you guys get?
I don't know. It's probably like Little Caesars pizza.
And you were probably like,
I was like,
it's so
"Yes,
delicious.
This is the best food ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pumpkins. That's great. Now I'm gonna sound like a snob, and
I
you
know.
are too.
Well, see, for me, yeah, I am. But like, to be honest, I never was a huge candy fan, which sounds weird. You know, I talk about like getting the pillowcase full and all that. You know, it's exciting to get all the candy. But as far as eating it, like, my mom would have to go and just throw away pretty much the candy after a year because I wouldn't eat that much of it.
You're just a hoarder.
Pretty much, yeah. Just the fact of getting the candy, which actually makes me sound worse. I would just get it and then she'd have to throw it away.
Wow, that's
And I'm just sitting there with pumpkin seeds.
there are children
Yeah,
out in
but-
Fremont,
yeah, but
California, starving.
That's just because you were deprived. So. That's true. People were starving, and I wasn't eating the candy. But I mean, I don't even really know. I guess if I had to pick when I was a kid, maybe a lot of just chocolate, maybe like Twix or something.
Okay. For me, when I was younger, like my favorite was Three Musketeers or Milky Way. Those were the ones that I just was so excited to get. Not the mini ones, but like the fun size. Not like the
Mhm.
bite size, but the
Yeah,
you know,
The big bite size.
but every year,
not the one bite, like the 2 bite size.
every year though, I think mine changed every year pretty much.
Oh no, I think I was pretty consistent.
Really?
Oh, I love Three Musketeers.
Because when you said that, there was a time I was like, oh yeah, I'm looking for Three Musketeers, and then there was a year I was like, oh, I'm looking for all the Reese's and
The Reese's?
Reese's.
I was just about to make fun of it.
Is that how do you say it?
Reese's.
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 Oh God.
I loved biting off like the chocolate ends, like all the chocolate off of the Three Musketeers, and then just having the nougat. Like and
That's
then
weird.
just like.
That is weird.
But I did the same thing with Kit Kat. Like I did it with every candy. I was like, just trying to savor. You know,
Well, that's
because I was deprived too. I had to eat pumpkin seeds for Halloween. So this Halloween, are you going to dress up?
I think I probably will, assuming that we go to this party that we sometimes go to.
An adult party?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you?
I don't really have a party to. I don't have a party to go to. That's why I asked you, because I wanted you to invite me.
Well, maybe we should find a reason for you to dress up.
Rachel, are you gonna dress up?
I always want to, and then when it comes down to it, I never do.
If you could choose your costume, the money is money. There's no expense too high. What would you guys choose? Like, what would you want to? Yeah, you'd be anything.
The thing is, it doesn't even necessarily have to do with like the amount you spend on it or buying. You just have to be really creative, for
Yeah.
whatever
Okay.
year it is.
So?
know. Well, I have an idea of what I'm gonna be, but I don't want to say it because I don't want people to steal it.
By the time this goes, no one's gonna be ready to make that costume.
Maybe though. Okay, I'll say it. So what we were thinking is, there's a couple of people that go to this party, and there's like 3 or 4 of us, in the family that are going. So my wife and we were all going to dress up as different Robin Williams characters.
Hey,
Right?
not too soon.
No,
Okay.
because it's a tribute, not
Okay.
it's just like a tribute.
Okay. That's not
Right?
too bad
That's
actually of
pretty
an
good.
idea.
Everybody show up and they're like, "What? They're all Robin Williams characters."
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So
What about you, Mr.
would-
Manager?
before you
sorry.
go with that, I better say that was my wife's idea, not mine.
That's a good idea.
That is a way good idea.
I know.
Now it's a better idea because it wasn't yours.
Yes, because mine would have been a shitty idea.
Okay, Mr. Manager, if you could just choose anything, you could dress up as anything, and it would look phenomenal.
I really don't know. I have to go check Pinterest first. I have no idea. I always want to do like funny, like family, kind of costumes. Like, I don't know.
Where the whole
what-
family has the theme.
Yeah, but I just never.
Like all characters from Full House.
No, not lame ones.
You would suggest that.
Yeah.
I really have no idea.
If I had all the money in the world and I could choose a costume, those realistic dinosaur suits they have now, where like it's an animal, it's almost animatronics. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but
They have it like in museums. They have these guys in like these animatronics, like dinosaur suits.
here's what would happen though. You would get your sweet costume, your animatronic dinosaur, which actually sounds pretty sweet. But you would show up to because you would have to use it to a party at this point,
Just walk around the neighborhood.
Okay,
Scare
if you're
kids with
okay,
it.
if you're gonna go run around, I guess that'd be cool. But like typically, you'd use it at a party when you're dressing up, right? So you'd wear it for the first 5 minutes, and you get too hot, and you'd want to drink, and so it would come off halfway through the night, and you'd probably come off halfway through the night anyways, because that's when usually your clothes come off.
Can't you just imagine like a T-Rex asking you, "Pour this drink down my mouth"? That would be me.
Is that what a T-Rex sounds like?
Well, when I'm in a T-Rex
It's a human
suit,
voice, but like robot-ier.
Rah, 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 rah. Come on, it'd be cool to be
No,
like
it would be
an
super-
animatronic
yeah,
T-Rex.
I agree.
Okay, it's kind of nerdy though.
Oh, super nerdy.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else about
that's
Halloween,
it. Halloween's.
Mr. Manager?
That's
Rachel, anything?
I need to go find a costume now.
Okay.
Yeah, start thinking early.
Well, we want to wish everybody a happy Halloween, happy Devil's Birthday, or
Mhm.
happy All Saints Day, whatever the hell you celebrate. And if you don't celebrate it, then sucks for you. Go have some pumpkin seeds and some pizza, I suppose.
Which makes for a good time, I'm sure. I wouldn't know because I trick-or-treated.
It's probably not as good of a time as trick-or-treating, that's for sure.
It was so fun.
All right, good night, everybody.